All right, up next, we are joined by Indiana offensive lineman Pat Coogan. Pat, thank you very much for joining us. If you wouldn't mind, maybe just a brief opening statement, and then we'll open it up for questions.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for having me, everybody. Obviously, a very exciting week here in Bloomington. Honored and grateful for this opportunity, and I know every player would say the same. So we're really looking forward to getting after it this week in practice and having a great week of prep and excited for the weekend.
Our first question will go to Kyle Babcock. Kyle?
Hey, Pat, you're a veteran, senior guy. You've played a lot in the college game. What's it like with your teammates on the offensive line, having Fernando and having that offense there and blocking and protecting that team?
Oh, it's been a blast. Since the first day I got here, we've gelled so well. Um, Everyone accepted me with open arms, and I'm really grateful for that. Um, it's been an unbelievable process just to grow with this group of individuals and become really tight friends with a lot of them and most of them. Um, it's been a great journey ever since I got here in January, February. So really grateful for that, and it's fun going into the weekend with amazing players and amazing talent. So we all enjoy playing the game of football with each other. So that makes it even better.
Our next question is from Robert Littall. Oh, sorry, Robert, you're still muted.
Can you hear me now?
There we go.
All right. Sorry. Thank you for taking out the time. I really appreciate it. How important is it as the offensive line playing against a team like Ohio State to control the line of scrimmage, to get the running game going, and dictate to them so that defense, as you know, cannot just kind of tee off on Fernando or you guys become one dimensional. So how important early on is that to really control the line of scrimmage and get that running game going?
Absolutely. It's fundamental. It's a huge part of the game. It's critical for sure. We got to have a great plan in place to attack on the early downs and be efficient, really run the ball efficiently, so we can set ourselves up for success and stay out of those third and long situations, which no one enjoys being in. Yeah, it is absolutely crucial. And I know our coaches are upstairs right now grinding to put together a great plan in place. So we got to follow that plan. We got to execute that plan, but it starts in practice, and Tuesday inside run and Wednesday team run, everything. It's a process, and we got to commit to the process and hope and we'll see success on Saturday.
Our next question is from Michael Niziolik.
Yeah, Pat, you played Ohio State last year, obviously. Not sure how much film you've been able to kind of watch here. But if you have, what differences have you noticed in that defense under Matt Patricia?
Well, yeah, it's a different defensive coordinator. So there's always going to be differences in there. They play a little bit more of that like bear spacing type with the will linebacker on the ball or hovering around the ball to the boundary. So there's definitely different intricacies in that aspect. But I think the thing that remains the same is he lets his playmakers make plays, and he gives the guys the ability to go out there and play confident and fly around. So it's going to be a huge challenge for us, and it's a challenge we're all very excited for, but we got to be ready for because it's a great team, great defense, and so we gotta, like I've kind of said, we gotta commit to the prep. It's gonna be a long week with a lot of film and a lot of hours, but that's the bet. That's football, and that's what we love, and that's what we love to do.
Our next question comes from Zach Osterman.
Pat, I feel like we probably asked you about this, early on, but you were a very vocal leader at Notre Dame, and it seems like as this season has gone on, we've heard teammates cite sort of messages you've delivered pre-game, post-game. I think Fernando talked about the one that you kind of delivered before Purdue. Where was the moment for you as someone who is experienced, but obviously, still finding your way through a new program when you transferred to Indiana? Where was the moment for you when you maybe feel like you found your comfort being willing to use your voice to speak up, to lead. I know that's probably just natural to your position as well, but with this group, feeling like that was a role that you were going to fill and you were going to fill it really confidently.
Yeah, it took time for sure. Um, the last thing I wanted to do when I got here, when I arrived here, was, step on anybody's toes of people that have been here, because I know how I would feel, as an offensive lineman, if someone new were to come in and kind of try and take control. So I wanted to gel with the guys. I wanted to grow with the guys, through spring ball and through the summer. Um, I think fall camp was instrumental in kind of taking that elevated role, and of course, like you kind of mentioned, as a center, um, you're in a position where people look to you, people look for you, for kind of, that the voice on the offense and the voice on the line of scrimmage. So it kind of just comes with the position. But fall camp was definitely a huge opportunity to grow into that leadership role. A lot of us did. I think a lot of veteran players took a huge step during fall camp, um, becoming a voice, becoming a leader. And then kind of just throughout the season, it just throughout the season you continue to grow. The growth never stops within a program, within an offense. Players are always there's always a gelling. There's always a gelling. And I think that's what we've seen, and that's what translated to success, because we've always, kept striving, kept improving, throughout the year. We refuse to get complacent, and we still have to do the same this week. Um, but I think it's just been a gradual growth, since I got here in February. But I would say fall camp was a huge opportunity for myself and other leaders to step up.
Our next question is from Mike Schumann.
Yeah, Pat, I wanted to ask you a couple questions about Zen. First, his versatility seems like it's been very beneficial to you guys this year. He stepped in a lot of different spots to help out when duty called. And second, I guess just being an Ohio State guy for 4 years, is there any benefit that you think you guys can derive from that this week?
Yeah, he's been huge for us. He's put in the work, to be able to play multiple positions and be able to be trusted at multiple positions, which is hard to do. It really is, because there's a lot of different things that you got to know. So it's all credit to him. He's put in the work. He's committed to the process, um, and he's done it for the team, for the betterment of the team. So it really is a credit to him. And I'm sure there's some things that, maybe tips or things he remembers. You know, he obviously has familiarity with all those guys and the defensive line, and I'm sure he has, things about the offensive line as well coming from there. So I'm sure we'll probably ask him a few things, but at the end of the day, we got to go out and perform within the white lines. Nothing's going to be given to us or anything. We got to go perform, and we got to, put our best foot forward and be the best version of ourselves.
Our next question is from Tyler Danberg. Tyler, go ahead.
Pat, what do you remember about Carnell Tate as a high school teammate of yours at Marist?
Yeah, we were pretty tight. Me and Carnell were pretty tight. We would drive to morning workouts together a few times, with our older buddy picking us up. And then I think he left for IMG after his freshman year, I believe. I think, yeah, his freshman year. Um, I do remember, we were working out one day, and he was still super young at the time, no offers or anything. And I feel like I asked him like his dream school, and he was like, "Oh, I want to go to Ohio State." So it's been fun to watch his journey. Great kid, really, really, really talented athlete. So, and I've seen him a few times, the times I've played him in the past, and I've seen him after the game. So, yeah, great talent. And I wish he stayed at our high school so we could have a little bit more success. But no, he's a really good kid, great talent.
Next question is from Dan Hope.
Pat, you played against Ohio State in the national championship game last year. Is there anything that you feel like you're able to draw from that experience going into this game?
Yeah, I think, it's tough because, it's a new defense, it's a new defensive coordinator and a lot of new players. I think just the experience as a whole, this is my fourth time playing Ohio State in 5 years. Each time has been a different type of game. But they're all incredibly intense and they're all incredibly close. I think anytime you have familiarity with a situation, it's nice. You get to look back on that and that experience and kind of draw some things from it. So there's a few things here and there, but again, it's different because it's a new defense, a new team. But kind of just the atmosphere of those games that I've been in with them, incredibly intense and incredibly physical. You really got to be on all your P's and Q's. So it's nice to have that experience for sure. But again, it's a different defense, and we got to prepare for the defense of this year.
We've got time for one more question for Pat. That final question will go to Jeff Rabjohns.
Yeah, Pat. Fernando gave you a lot of credit for your misfits speech pregame before Purdue. Just take us through sort of how you came up with that and how you delivered that.
Yeah, I think uh, honestly, I heard that a while ago from my previous school. So I'm not going to take the credit for that. I did not come up with that like on my own. But I thought it applied, to us and it was more about the message as a whole. I think the message as a whole was more about just how all of our journeys have led us to here and how all of our, different paths, different journeys have led us to this locker room, to this Friday night before Purdue. Um, ready to go 12-0. It was more about, the purpose that we all serve and the plan in place and the belief that we're all here for a reason and all of our journeys have led us here for a reason. So that was what the real message was about. Obviously, it was the end of the season, it was kind of, about the journey and everything that's led us to here.
Pat, thank you very much for joining us. Good luck this week.
Thank you very much.